for this morning. I'm very excited to be with you. I hope everyone had a great holiday and some time off and some refreshment. Maybe you even have this week off, and so this is a great week to really be thinking about, what's happening here in the future for you, what your plans are for your family, and just spending some good time with your family. And today we have a great word that came up in that regard, and that word, that virtue, is understanding. So let's read the description first, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Understanding is having clear insight into ideas and feelings. We thoughtfully seek to comprehend the full truth. We are mindful of what is most important. We are deeply present to others with compassion and accuracy, helping them to discern their own clarity. We go the extra mile to put ourselves in another's shoes in order to forgive. We treasure knowledge and use our minds as tools to explore what is real and true. We cherish the ability to see the whole picture. This is such a deep word, and I guess as with all of the virtues, there's just so many directions that you can go. Anytime I hear that word understanding or understand or understood, I always think about Stephen Covey and one of those 7 habits where it was seek to, I think it goes like it's seek to understand before being understood. And that calls for those great listening skills, right? And that compassionate listening that we do. And when we do that kind of listening, we not only help ourselves understand the other person, but we help them to feel like they're understood. And of course, we can use all different kinds of listening skills, and we can use, good questions and kind of coaching kind of types of questions to try to really come to a real knowledge of what the other person is feeling. And because we want to comprehend exactly what's going on for them. And this is true whether we're dealing with other adults or if we're dealing with our children. If we assume that we know what our children need or want, or what they're demanding or whatever, it's a very dangerous place to go, because it's likely that what is their perception and what their needs are may not be what we thought they were. And so we need to listen. We need to listen very carefully. And when there's a problem, when there's something that's come up where it's their responsibility and not ours, then that listening skill is even more important, because we want to help them, as it puts it in the description here, we want them to help them to discern their own clarity about what they want to do, clarity about what the consequences are for what they're doing, clarity about what is the values and the virtues of your family, and how do they play into the choices that they're making. There's just so much there. And so as I think about understanding today, as I'm focusing on that, I think what I'm doing is just, for me personally, it's about being mindful about what are the most important things. And we've talked about this before. And obviously, if I say that my family is the most important thing, then they have to come first. If I say that my work is my most important thing, then that's what comes first. And so finding that balance there is always is critical. It's also hard because, we can't divide our time up into chunks like I'm going to devote 4 hours to my family, 4 hours to work, 4 hours to play, 4 hours to rest, 4 hours to this, 4 hours to that. It doesn't work that way, right? But I can tell you that your children and your partner or the people that you work with know whether you see your relationships with them as important. And one of the ways of doing that is by listening very well, right? And really coming to a real clear insight of who the person is and what their hopes and dreams and feelings are. And when we do that, we develop relationships that are unbreakable. And that's our goal. As a parent, that's my goal with my children, is to have that relationship that they're able to speak to me knowing that I'm not going to be interrupting them with the answers as I see it, but rather I'm going to listen to them in a way that's going to help them to discern their own clarity, for them to come to their own answers. And we can do that with children that are fairly young, and at the same time use our words to guide them or to counsel them or to mentor them, or to sometimes we need to just be that authority and say, I know this is hard for you to understand right now, but this is where we're at and this is what needs to be done. And so it could be that there's going to be times that you're not going to say, like, you do it my way or the highway, but we're going to have to find the words that we need to demonstrate that what we're requesting has a connection to the virtues that are most important and the values that are most important to your family. And that's why I believe that it's not possible for anyone to sit back and say, this is what you should do or what you shouldn't do with your kids, because you know your kids and you understand where they're coming from, or at least we hope you do. And if you don't, then just take more time. Take time to listen and take time to discern their needs and desires and who they are as a person. So those are my thoughts today about understanding. As I said previously, today my thing is being mindful about the things that are most important. I have some chores to do around the house. I have some work I want to try to get done, and I have some family things that I want to make sure that take priority too, so that I, am being the person that I want to be. So we just put up a brand new blog post. I'd invite everybody to go see it. It's about 5 tips to getting to know yourself better. And this is a start of a series of things I'm going to be doing on personal development, because I'm becoming more and more convinced that for us to be the best parents that we can be, we must first develop ourselves. We must continually be working on ourselves to be the best that we can be in all areas of our life. And so that's what this next series is going to be on. So thank you very much for being here. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues and this virtue of understanding, along with the 4 C's of successful families. And that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time.